What up? This is D Pino, Relatives on Tap, Friends to the Family Edition. I am accompanied here by Eroc, co-owner of Little Cities Tattoo, man. What up, my guy?
What's going on, my brother? What's good
Word,
with you?
word. I'm so glad you was able to come today, man. I was looking forward to
appreciate it.
this. Known you for years, did a lot of my tattoos. Let's just get right into it, man. What drives you? What's your main motivating factor in your life right now?
Is actually providing for my daughter, staying on the grind, continue to be great for her, be a loving father, but I have to pay those bills, so that's what motivates me to hustle every single day, you know?
I'm
Keep
glad
pushing.
that you mentioned that your daughter's like your purpose, right? I got my daughter in the studio right now, so let's talk about just talk about that. Let's talk about fatherhood and what ways your daughter is like that driving force.
So my daughter is my purpose. My daughter gave me the battery to my backpack, and basically it gave me the fuel to really survive in this jungle that we call this world, you know? Like, yeah, I'm out here working. But yeah, she's my purpose.
Word. So just because I follow you on social media, like I know your daughter paints also. So how was that how did you feel when your daughter picked up the craft? Because I know how passionate you are about it. I got kids. Not all my kids took what I love what they do, but how was it when your daughter, took interest in what you love?
It took a while. She started since she was 2. I was slowly molding her, kept putting the paintbrush into her hand, and little by little she started gravitating to it. And I think not forcing her to do it, but me painting and drawing next to her motivated her to be right next to me and, keep up with that,
Word, word. So let's talk about as far as how you got into tattooing, your business. I just remember, I was talking to you off camera. You just busting down tattoos for me, tattoo parties. You know what I mean? Like the real grind, like you said, always on the grind. You've been at this for many years. How was it opening up your doors for the first time?
It felt amazing, actually. It was one of those so surreal moments. Like, you don't believe it's happening, but it's happening. And until I opened the door, walk in, it was like, oh, this is real. This is really happening. Okay.
Was there any fear behind it?
I think there's always fear. And I think that fear is what's going to fuel you. The fear of the unknown. I had it from the beginning when I was molding the business with my cousin and his wife, But I think fear's good, though,
See, that's what it was for me. I remember, I'm glad I eventually overcame the fear, but I do remember so many times the fear it prevented me, it stopped me. What did you have going on in your life at that time that made you say, you know what, that fear means nothing. I'm going to take that leap. I'm going to take that chance.
I think around COVID, everybody was afraid that we were gonna stay stuck like that. And in my mind was like, you know what, I gotta survive on my own. I gotta do this. Finally, I had to get stuff together. And I was working in Fall River at the time. While I was in Fall River, I kept saving up my money, putting it together. And then one day I woke up, I was like, yo, cuz, wanna help me put a business together? He's like, you serious? I was like, yo, we gonna do this. All right, what we gonna do? All right, this is how we gonna do it. We finally started attacking, like trying to go to the city, trying to get things right, trying to make sure the paperwork's right, that we can open up. Then, trials and tribulations is we gotta make sure we gotta be 200 feet away from a church, a school, a park. They got little guidelines. So, to the point that it restricted us in a little corner in New Bedford, and I think that's designed like that for a reason, because not everybody could do it.
See, I was gonna ask you that, like, cause just tattooing is such a unique business, and I was gonna ask you to speak to the process, right? It's not like opening. I mean, it's so crazy, right? There's so many rules behind a tattoo parlor, but there's 200 bars out here.
Yeah,
So
Yes.
there's 200 bars and places where you can buy alcohol. Um, were there any times during the process of you trying to get the paperwork right, trying to get the zoning that maybe you felt like you wanted to quit, and if so, again, like what was going through your mind, like just to speak to people who maybe want to open their own business too.
You know what it is? I'm like Rocky Balboa.
Mm.
I could get punched mad times in the face, but I'm still gonna get up and be like, yo, you're a sucker. You hit like a chick. Try to do that again. I bet you can't do it again.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. I'm so stubborn. I won't let it happen. And I literally every time there was something in our way, yo, me and my cousin were both stubborn. We was like, nah, this ain't going down like that. His wife is very smart and very strategic. That she helped us a lot of the way. They ha- they are actually very open minded and nice to women. But two guys walking up to, let's say, an office in New Bedford, they literally be like, "You can wait.
Yeah.
We'll deal with you later." Or
Right.
they gave us a lot of the runaround. But
Yeah.
it happens.
But like you said though, through your perseverance, through that Rocky Balboa mentality, like
Yeah, baby.
we go more rounds, we go more rounds. So you obviously accomplished it. You obviously overcame the trials and tribulations. Do you think you would ever walk away from entrepreneurship, or do you think this is it for the rest of your life?
I can't walk away from entrepreneurship because that's already in me. I can't see myself going backwards and working for somebody because you got to look at it. All those people have the same time and day that you do, but now you're living out their dream and you're not living out your dream. So I'm sorry, I got to continue to be an entrepreneur. I got to do it myself.
I love that. I
I'm
love
not
that.
folding.
Do you have those similar conversations with your daughter? Because I know, like, so my oldest, she took the college route, and
Yep.
she graduated. Super proud of my daughter. Shout out to you, and she's doing very successful in her field. Um, does your daughter speak to you about her future and and what direction she may want to go into?
Yo, so it's crazy. My daughter wants to be an architect.
Oh, that's fire.
And I love it because, an architect, you got to look at it. They're the future of what the world's going to look like.
Yeah.
They're going to, they
I
mold.
never thought about it like that, but that's fire.
They mold. So they're the artists that mold our. But anyways, I had to tell her that do that. But if you can't do that no more, just know that you're an artist and you can always mold yourself and adapt or become something else. I mean, you don't have to be confined. And if she doesn't want to do that, yo, she could be a tattoo artist with me. You know what I mean?
Facts, right? Because that door will always be open with you.
Of course.
How long have your doors been open?
So my door's been open since 2022. We're going on 4 years. And I've been welcomed by the city. You know what I mean? Because I'm from here,
Yeah.
That's what I love about the city.
Well, I could say this: as long as I've known you, and I mean, I've known of you since teenage years. You've always carried yourself with a certain demeanor. You've always been, to me, an honorable man.
Appreciate that.
Integrity. I never heard any things like you just like doing grimy ways and stuff like that. I'm sure we've all did some things that people would say, but for the most part, like your character's always been intact. Could you speak to people the importance of maintaining good character in the community when it comes to building a business?
Definitely. I think that comes from my dad. My dad was a police officer, so he did a lot of politics. My mom was the housewife that took care of us, but made sure we was always sharp. So my dress, me came from my mother. The way I carried myself comes from my dad. My dad was the type that we would walk in a room and he'd be like, yo, we're walking in here. I need you to shake everybody's hand and mention your name. You're going to look them straight in the eye and let them know who you are. And as a little kid, I had to always do that.
That's the integrity piece.
And definitely the integrity piece. And that became such a part of me, as when I was young, running around the projects, going to house parties. It was always, what's up? What's good? What's good? Eroc, what's popping? But it was always something. And I think that left the impression on a lot of people. Like, yo, he's a solid dude. But respectfully, that came from my dad, you know? My dad was always big on you give respect. You know how people like, oh, you gotta give me respect. No, you give respect.
Yeah.
And that respect, if they don't want to give it to you, yo, keep it pushing. You don't even gotta acknowledge them.
Yeah, I had
But-
that conversation with my son on our podcast. You know, because most people would adopt the ideology, you know, that people need to earn your respect. And I said, no, Junior,
Nah.
I respect everybody. Now,
Right.
you can lose my respect, and once it's gone, it's gone. But I have no reason to not respect a person when I meet them. By eye contact, handshake, introduce myself. That's respect.
Word.
How does that respect interpret into your business today?
I think that respect comes with me everywhere. So with business, we will walk into places and it was like, hello, how you doing? My name is Elvin Gonzalez. Nice to meet you. Listen, these are my services. This is what I can do. What can you do for me?
Word.
And they're like, oh, okay. But being proper and respectful like that, yo, that goes a long way. I'm sorry. You're not going to go in there looking like, yo, what you going to do for me? Nah, that's not going to work.
Yeah. That's what separates the amateurs from the professionals.
Yeah.
So you say you've been in business 4 years now.
Yep.
What is something, in your opinion, as a co-owner, that separates you from other tattoo establishments?
So I gotta say, man, we're big on family. So everybody that comes through the door already know we're family, the people that own the business, that we embrace people like family too. And it gets to a point that people start coming in asking for advice, and we give it to like family, you know? When they messing up, like, yo, bro, you messing up, bro. I think you need to get your life together.
Yeah.
If you need help, listen, we're here for you. We'll talk you through it, but I'm not gonna hold your hand, you know? But
Word.
that's I feel like that's what's different with us.
So how did you come up with the name for your company and the logo?
So the logo was I have an uncle that he's real familiar with business, and he told me if I'm gonna make a business, it should be the face of the city. So for a while, or for a week, I kept thinking about a logo and a name, right? So when I was on South First, I was at a family house, like one of my family members, and I was walking outside, and I was passing the Orpheum Theater. I was like, yo, the Orpheum Theater got some ill faces. Them 4 faces on that building is amazing. There's something beautiful and scary about them. So I was like, a face. Oh, the face of the city. The face. Boom, I'm running with that. And then Little City Tattoos, I remember before they used to say the Little City of New Bedford, right? That I wanted, if I started a business, I wanted to incorporate the city. So I felt like the best way to incorporate the city, there's already somebody named it after New Bedford. Somebody else named it the Winter City, you know? Yeah. So I wanted to be different. The Little City of New Bedford. All right, let's cut out let's cut out New Bedford and name it Little City. So for a while I kept sitting on it, right? Then I had a dream with my grandfather.
Oh, wow.
My grandfather, in the dream, he was in my house in the last room. So I look inside the room, but the room was so big and wide and it looked like a factory.
Oh,
bro.
wow.
It was scary. I was like, what? And I look in there, it's my grandfather under a light, like, you know, when interrogating.
Like a top light, yeah.
So I walk towards him, like, what are you doing here? And my grandfather's in the dream, he's smoking a cigar saying, so what are you going to do about the little city? I was like,
oh,
that's
confirmation.
So I woke up right there. I was like, the little city, little city, little city, little city, little city, little city tattoos. Oh shit, little city tattoos. You know what? Oh, hold up. I had to call my cousin. I was like, yo, Tom. He's like, what's up, cuz? Yo, what do you think about little city tattoos? Cuz, little city tattoos, really? I'm like, cuz, yo, I want you to roll it off your tongue, little city tattoos. Little City Tattoos. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call you back. Think about it. I
Yeah.
hung up. Yo, he called me back 5 minutes later. Yo, cuz,
Yeah, he's like,
you're a genius.
nah, I got a ring to it. You know, I'm not just because I'm from here. I just remember talking to people, you know, in my travels, and people asking me where I'm from, and I'm like, you wouldn't believe it, but like, I come from a place that's 13 by 3 miles, but it's a city. They're like, that sounds like a town. I'm like, no, it's a city.
Yeah.
And it actually was one of the richest cities in the world at
And
one
what they
point.
say, the city that lit the world. Ooh, come on, baby.
Come on, man.
Let's speak facts, baby.
Hey, I love that story. That's a beautiful story, though. And like, you know, I picture the old school, you know, like a compay type. You know what I'm saying, with the cigar. You know what I'm saying?
All day. You know what's crazy? So people talk about New Bedford, right? But there's a famous story about Moby Dick.
Mm-hmm.
You could go anywhere. Everybody knows that story.
Everybody knows that story.
And is it like crazy? Everybody's like, yo, so you from New Bedford where the whales, right? I'm like, yeah, Moby Dick.
Yeah.
But Moby Dick, right, never died. Yo, we should embrace that.
Right.
That story? Come
Right.
on, baby.
Right.
But yeah, so Moby Dick was an icon.
Oh yeah, to this city, to the world.
Yeah, to the
Because
world.
everybody knows or
that
had
story.
to. They either was forced to read that book in school, or it's a good story. It's
Yeah.
a good story. So
And it was filmed in New Bedford,
yeah, no facts. It's in the book.
right?
It's in the book. So yo, shout out to Little City Tattoos, man. I love that story though. I'm glad we touched on that. You got anything big going on for your 5-year anniversary?
Damn, that's a good. We should really do
Because
something
now that I'm
big.
home, if you do, I would definitely like to be there and do some filming and just get some documenting. You know, I was gone for a while, but I'm back now. So if you got anything going on, like what you thinking?
So we're trying to get into this new location, and I wanted to do the grand opening when we first opened the location, but we were so busy trying to be in the business that it just didn't work out. A year passed, and we was like, yo, we're gonna do it. We just still haven't done it. This year, yo, you're right. I think we should do it, man. And I think people already know we're there, you know, but I think it's respectfully, we should do that.
You know what I noticed? So I was in Atlanta for like 3.5 years. We from New Bedford. We had a brief conversation outside, just about like what we refer to outside, like the New Bedford mentality, right?
Yes.
But I will say this though: the 3 years that I was gone, when I came back, like this, I've been back now for 1.5 years. I do got to give credit to the city of New Bedford. I just feel like that lack of support that I knew was here before I left. People are coming around. I feel like people are actually supporting more, especially like how I see all these businesses at the Kilburn Mill, just like we're here at YMS Studios. I do see a shift in the city as far as people actually supporting small businesses. Could you speak to that? Like, have you noticed any of that? Being a small business owner yourself, has there been any shift changes as far as from when you first started to where we at today in 2026?
So when I first started, nobody showed you love in the beginning. Like, I'm saying like early 2000. I used to be like, yo, I'm a tattoo artist. Yeah, all right. Let me see your work. Hey, yo, I know Julio from up the block that does it better. But now...
We all know Julio.
Yeah, we all know Julio. But I'm saying now, I feel like due to social media, having a phone in your hand, seeing how this whole world is moving, I feel like we're all moving in one vessel. So everybody's all in tune with that basically the same knowledge everybody's is on. So I feel like this city is finally starting to get it together and realize, oh, New York, they getting it together. They always Atlanta,
Yeah.
music industry, they did it.
They had that reputation for being like supporting each other. But like I said, being gone, it's even the small things, right? I was talking to my boy the other day. Like, I grew up in New Bedford. This beach was in my life, my whole life.
Yeah.
I never cared. I was gone for almost 4 years, and I look at that beach every day because I live right near it. and I finally appreciate it because I was away from it.
I appreciate that.
I think I'm able to see that there's actually support here, but it's just like the integrity, how you carry yourself, the networking, the circles that you put yourself in. You know what I mean? And I see that obviously you've been doing that, and it seems to be working out for you. If you had to speak to somebody younger, trying to start their own business, tattooing or not, any business, trying to make that shift from the streets to professionalism, because we come from the streets, we come from the grind, we come from the bottom. What's the best piece of advice you can give somebody that's trying to change their life from a hard life? Not to say that entrepreneurship's easy,
right,
but that path.
I'll say learn your craft, start doing it, own it. Now, you're trying to go move forward with your life, get with like-minded people. And if you're not among people that ain't supporting you or want to help you or let's grow together, you got to kind of separate yourself and keep pushing forward, right? Even that, just pushing forward, people that are like-minded with you are going to be in tune with you, and you're going to find basically your tribe. Like, that's exactly what happened to us, that we literally found our tribe. And now I feel like we can move like a unit and we can make things happen, especially what they say, it's better in numbers. We're stronger together, basically.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I'm glad you used the word tribe. That was a better way to explain what I was basically getting at. Like, you found your individual tribe to build your business.
Right.
But I just feel like New Bedford itself, it's finally starting to become its own tribe. Not completely. It takes time, right? It's like there's still things to be worked on. But I just see still an overall shift, and people are actually starting to like really work with each other in a way that I don't remember seeing 10 years ago.
You know, it's one that I started, like, I got emotional. Is when I went out to the club one time, and I grew up in the South End, right? You know, South End, West End.
Mm-hmm.
I started going to New Bedford High, but started getting cool with some West End cats, right? Now, West End and South End never liked each other. Now, fast forward to now, the older cats are all chilling with each other at the bar, buying each other drinks, you know, even laughing about what happened.
Yes.
While these young cats out here, yo, it's crazy. They over here trying to take each other's heads off, not knowing their big homies are with their other big homies at the bar chilling. Like,
you know what I would say though, that
crazy.
is going on, but the group of younger cats that are still engaging in the BS, those numbers are smaller.
Yeah.
Which is why I feel like I see growth, because they're still out there, but there's just less of them.
Yeah. So.
Because I feel like when we was younger, it was everybody.
Yeah.
It was everybody.
But you know why, right? It's because we was getting taught by our older homie, and that older homie got taught by that. You ever seen that story with the monkeys going up the ladder, right? And every time they went up the ladder to go grab a banana, they sprayed them with water, right?
No, I never seen that.
And then, so they noticed that they couldn't go up, right? So they had 5 monkeys there, right? Little by little, they started taking out a monkey, right?
Oh, wow.
Now that last monkey, every time somebody went up, they'll hit them like, don't go up. You're not supposed to do that. Now, there's no original monkeys, to the point that they're all still doing that because they followed the old monkeys that did it before, but they don't know the reason why they couldn't climb the ladder. It's crazy.
Like generational trauma.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what happened to a lot of those cats. Not realizing they fell into an ignorant mindset.
No, you're right though, because I remember being young, you know, on my block, and it was like, we hate South End.
Right, that was crazy.
I just remember asking like, why?
Yo.
Like why? I don't even know anybody down there.
Yo, funny story, right? Not funny story, right? I remember going to school, New Bedford High, right? And I'm in a class with this kid. Yo, he became my homie. We was helping each other out in school, you know. I used to draw, he used to draw. And then he was like, yo, where you from? I'm like, oh, I'm from Blue Meadows. He's like, oh, you South End? I was like, yeah. Well, I'm from the West End. I'm like, yo, you cool? He's like, you cool too? He's like, you know we're not supposed to like each other. All right, nah, you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the love and respect that we have for each other grew.
Yeah.
But yo, that all comes from ignorance. You know?
It does.
What they call that? Ignorantly loyal.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of that growing up, but I couldn't fathom to be on that same mentality now, because yo, that's gonna stop you from a lot of things.
Yeah.
From
But
growing.
I do think you're right in the aspect of our generation senior to us, they didn't have as much going on as like we have to be a better example. You know, like I said, there's still younger cats out there doing the wrong thing. You know, and I hope them guys figure it out sooner than later. But I do think that their numbers are smaller. There's way more examples. Maybe it's due to social media because we're more exposed. People see people our age doing different things, doing better things, being positive, being better fathers. I think I don't remember seeing this many dads when I was young.
Yo, right. Dad was absent. Where's your dad? I don't know. Where's your dad? I don't know.
Nobody had a dad.
So I had a dad. My dad was
No, you
dead.
did. But I'm just saying. But you know that though, because
Yeah.
be having friends like so many of my friends. But like now, I feel like I see so many good fathers. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
So that's what I'm saying.
I was blessed with that though. You know
Such a big change in the city. I just want to pivot real quick to like your actual painting. Obviously I love tattoos. You've done quite a few of mine. But your canvas painting. Describe your style. I love what you do. You do so many different things too. But just I want you to describe your style.
What's crazy, I don't know if I could describe my style, but I can say that it's based off where I'm from. You know what I mean? I always got to put a little bit of my culture. I got to put where I'm from, you know? I put a little street aspect into it. But now, I got to like, I'm adding different elements. Like, I'm so big on trying to make things look on point that a couple years ago, I started watching Basquiat, you know, Keith Haring, all them dudes, right? And I appreciate that they started owning that chaotic look that's very unorthodox. It doesn't look so perfect, so straight, but it still told the story. So, style, I don't know what style it is yet, but I feel like it's starting to develop into something now, you know? And I had to do my homework and understand everybody's style of what they bring to the table.
Right.
But once I get there, I promise you, I'll let you know what style it is.
Hey man, I love what you do. I'm looking forward to how it evolves. I'm looking forward to how it just gets better because I've been knowing you draw the whole time I've known you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, real talk off topic because I was talking to the homie Steph. Shout out to Steph, but she said she said you was a break dancer, bro.
Oh yeah.
She said the homie was spinning.
I wish my name Eroc came from something ill, but it was nothing ill. I mean, it came from me breakdancing as a kid.
What is that? Oh, that's outside?
That's outside.
That's your people.
Boricua.
Go ahead.
Hey yo, so when I was a kid, I used to breakdance, and my uncle Jay, he was a ill B-boy. He was into house music, DJ. He was big into Rotxftf crew. So me and my brother was into breakdancing, and I used to look up to him. So I got into breakdancing with him, you know what I mean? And it just kept up with me. And my uncle, he seen me dance one day, and he was like, you know what? Here comes B-Boy E. Oh, matter of fact, E-Rock. And the ones and twos. And he's like, ooh.
That's it.
And got stuck with me.
That's
But,
it.
yeah, that's
the realest nicknames are given. You don't give yourself a nickname. It was given to you.
Yeah.
Nah, that's fine though. But when Steph told me that, I was like, I've known him for a long time. I never seen him break dance, but that was fire though.
Yo, I was doing like 10 head spins and spinning on my knee. Steph, yo, did she tell you how we met?
Well, I don't even know how we got to that conversation, but She was just basically telling me how far back you used to go. She's like, we go back to popping and locking it. I was like,
Yeah.
what? She's
So me and Steph was on the after school bus. Steph was the little shy girl that was in the corner, and I was the little shy boy in the other corner. Somehow she knew I breakdance. So one day she was
oh
like,
yeah, she said you were supposed to teach her, but she just never learned.
she goes, do you want to battle? I was like, me? Yeah. When? She was like, I don't even know how to breakdance. Can you teach me? I was like, then how can I battle you? And then from there, yo, me and Steph bonded so heavy.
Yeah.
People think that we got a relationship, right? Like, no, but that's my sister.
Nah,
I love Steph.
Real friendship is real friendship, bro. Trust me, I get it. I got homies just the same.
Yo,
You know what I
girls
mean?
used to get jealous over stuff. And I was like, that's Steph. And they're like, you act like she's a guy. I'm like, you don't even know. That's a pit bull in a skirt. I promise you.
I'm telling you.
She was
But
brolic.
yo, Eroc, man, I just want to thank you for this time.
Appreciate it.
Before we go, I just want you to, tell them where they can find you. Tell them how they can get in contact with you. Tell them about the business. I want you to give you a shout out. I want you to just tell them where they could get Eroc and get the best of you.
So I'm on 468 Brock Ave, New Bedford, Massachusetts. You can reach out to us on Little City Tattoos on Facebook. And so my cousin runs the page on Instagram. So there's another Little City Tattoos. But I got my own that says Little City Tattoos, and then I put the Eroc at the end. So that's my own personal one. But my cousin manages the page. And then we got the one on Facebook that we all share. And so we also do microblading. We do scar camouflage. His wife is very talented, Brenda Lee. Shout out to Brenda Lee. And my cousin Tony.
I know,
Tony
I peeped that.
Galazzi.
Honestly, I'm about to book an appointment. Have you guys darken up my eyebrows?
Yo, she's nice with it.
I
Go
seen
check
that.
her
I was
out.
like, I think I need that.
And honestly, if you don't know, educate yourself, and you're gonna know what she does, and you're gonna be like, yo, she's amazing. I'm great at what I do, but I am blessed to have her on the side of me, and we merged a business together that, I love the whole dynamic of the business, But yeah, you can find us on Little City Tattoos, and you can reach out to us through social media. The number, I wish I had the number.
I'm gonna put the links at the bottom.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, got you. Any shout outs you want to go before we go? Any shout outs you want to put out there?
Yo, you know what? Shout outs to my father up in heaven. His name is Bienvenido Gonzalez. He was a police officer. He died 2017. Shout out to my mother, Sarita Gonzalez. I love her with all my heart. That's my sazon always. And my brother and my sister, Eileen, Benny. And I gotta shout out my daughter, Gianna Gonzalez. I love you, baby. That's my G baby right there. And her nickname I gave her was G Money. So if you ever see me out, I'm like, yo, Money, come here. And that's actually my daughter.
Word. All right, my guy. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much for this, man. Word.